Hi folks, I did this one several years ago. A friend had it on her wall. I had got it on the wall. We visited last week and I took photographs of all the paintings she's acquired from me over the years. It's loosely based on a Land's End painting. I've done it several times before, and in fact I've got several of these on hanging on walls in Florida, in St. Petersburg. Well, Pinellas Point, to be honest. I'm a great believer in keeping it simple, stupid. So here we are. Cadmium yellow, deep, cadmium red, ultramarine, burnt umber. And we'll see how we get on with those. I'll put in a sky first, and I'll know where I'm going. And I've got some Vosine VO5 hair gel there. It's acrylic based, so I'll see how we go with this. So I'm going to put a bit of a sky in, a bit of cad red, bit of gel, mixing with that. Helps it flow. I don't know if it'll. I've used it for a while. It's expensive. It costs £5, doesn't it? So any donations to PayPal. You can watch over 350 videos for probably less than a cup of Starbucks coffee for 1 month. So there's loads there for people to watch. So you're not getting something for nothing. You're actually making a contribution to the expense of all the paints I had to buy. I know we're all after the same thing, aren't we? Basic sky there. I've primed this. This is a previous demonstration. I think I did it last week, but it's okay for a demo. I painted over it with some burnt sienna, a bit of chalk dust as a gesso to give it a roughness. You don't really want to paint on smooth surfaces with oil or acrylic. You need to put a bit of tooth into the surface. You can do that with hardboard, or softish hardboard, not the oil-based hardboard, like the flooring grade hardboard. And if you rub it down with a really coarse sandpaper, glass paper, bandsaw paper, you can really disturb the surface, and when you put the acrylic or dilute acrylic primer on, PVA glue, it does lift the surface a little bit and you get a lovely tooth. If you don't, always mix a bit of powdered gesso or something, or a shop bought gesso. Oh, let's put a bit of blue in there. Right, bit of white, bit of cad yellow, bit of, I need some yellow ochre on here. A bit more red. I don't want to make too much of the sky. No, something's on that. It's very dry today. No. Oh, I see. Don't know what that is. I don't want this too yellow. Then I'll work out a sea colour. I'll clean that, we'll put the brush in there. now we want to put a horizon in. I quite like the sky. I've got my cup of tea here. If I get a chance, I'll be painting for Patreon in the morning. I try to do 2 a week. So, good sort of, well, I like sort of just a greeny blue. So, catch yellow deep, bit of white, more blue. That seems to be a reasonable colour. Now, I'm a great believer in softening. I look at some of my paintings on people's walls, friends mainly, mostly given away. And I see that I used to do the horizon lines are solid. I used to put a bit of masking tape across, but it's horrible. When I look at it now, why did I do that? You bring the sky into the sea and the sea into the sky. I love doing these. So that's quite rough. I might even put a bit more roughness on that horizon just to lose it a bit more. Well, you can do that just by going up a little bit. Look, and just dry brushing. Right, so Theresa May has finally stepped down. I'm going to put a bit of yellow ochre in, but I'll probably use it for the rocks. Just a little bit. When you buy paints that have got large lids, because you can stand them like that on your table and the paint will stay and seal, or make an airtight seal, so your paint's always fresh when you take it out. If you lay it down, you'll be forever squeezing the tube to get the paint down the right end where the hole is. Got to put detail into that, like white tips and just try to lighten it. A bit of gel. Alright, let's get some lighter stuff in there. Right, let's put a few rocks in and we'll paint around the rocks. The great thing about acrylic, of course, is it does dry very quickly and you can crack on with it, but that's also the downside as well. It dries too quickly. But you can get mediums, you can get professionally made mediums for the job, but then they're all expensive. The PVA glue is probably one of the best. It's cheap and it works, but it still dries quick. Bit of umber, bit of blue. Might even use a knife for some of this. Oh, let's get a bit of red with that. Make a sort of burnt sienna, a bit of warm. See if I can get away with that black and Payne's grey. And some nice rocks, plenty of colour in the rocks. Okay. Now we're going with the interesting stuff. With some blue, darken with a bit of Payne's, with a bit of burnt umber. Put a bit of detail in this. And then we want a lighter blue as we come closer into putting the shadow in, or the deeper water, and I can superimpose the white bits. Nice bits of blue. We'll model the rocks later on when we've got some of the some waves on there, the shadow. I'm not copying the photograph, the previous painting. You can't do that. It's now, being a landlubber or a landlocked suburban London, South London, on the edge of Surrey, 38 miles from Brighton and the coast, the nearest coast, I have to make this up. So to some extent it's an abstract impression. There's a touch of ochre in there, I think. Although it's drying on the palette here. Bit of splashy stuff. Right, let's get a few rocks in there now. Clean the brush. I love this brush, it's so worn out. Look, the ferrule that's all busted, look. But it's been a good friend. It's got more hair than I have now, or less hair than I have. Don't want to make too much of that. But a bit of bright, a bit of warm on those rocks. Let's get a grey. Just a burnt umber, ultramarine, burnt umber, ultramarine, a bit of white. Just lose some of that. I don't really like the contrast there, so we'll change that. Lighten it. Let's get some of that sky colour into the horizon. That's a bit better. So when you start these things, not as a beginner, but make your marks. You see things that you don't really like, but at this time you don't really know how to solve the problem. But eventually you get an idea. So I want to lose that horizon and gradually come back to the heavier detail. Blue, the ultramarine is great mixed with burnt umber, so you can put some shadows or in the troughs there. Get a little bit of a let me get some of that darker colour under there. I think even that is still a bit dark there. Right, go back to the right, I want to put a bit of detail on in there with these waves, a bit more in here, some highlights on those greys. So I'll warm those greys up a little bit on here. I must drink my tea. I've stood on the edge of this several times over my lifetime, and we're going on holiday later in the year to Sennen, which is way down near Land's End. So I'll be able to take a lot of photographs. I might even take some paints. Now, it's very easy to overdo these waves and go a bit mad with the white. Clean, clean, clean. Bit of ochre in the white here, or even a bit of burnt umber. Slightly shadowy, showing a little bit of the local colour from the rocks. I'm putting more sort of shadow in than highlights, but I'm going to still persevere. I mean, you can overdo these, of course. Right, let's get a bit of warming here. Now we're coming into the sort of foreshore, so we can change the colour to a bit of sand thrown up. Let's dry brush over there. Oh. Not quite enough detail in that now, so we'll put some white caps in. A bit corny, but I'm thinking we can put in a lighthouse. Put some rocks. Oops. Oh, okay, not bad. I'll put it in the mount if I can find one. I think that one would just about do. Oh, look. Maybe just a touch of light glisten. What was I going to do? Oh yeah. So it's picking up a little bit of light there. I'll give it a sign and I think probably the lighthouse is just a little bit too obvious, so it's a bit better. See if we can just get a bit. Okay, I'm going to let that go. Don't think I can do any more to it. So I hope you enjoyed that. So off Land's End we'll call that. Still haven't finished my tea. Maybe just a couple of that ochre highlights on there, I think. Right, no more. It's at that stage where you could poke and prod it to death. So we'll quit while we might be ahead there. Thanks for looking in, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.